foraging, just wildcrafting, taking wild plants from the urban environment. People in the countryside and the rural environments are often very familiar with these kinds of things, but those of us in the city are kind of disconnected. So the term urban is just put in front of it because it's sort of a different culture. Because it's like, I guess it's just kind of interesting to walk on the sidewalk and think that, like, right there are some salad greens that we're going to try. Chickweed. That's this plant growing all like a big carpet. This is actually a salad green. One of the things that distinguishes chickweed is there's a super fine line of hairs that goes only on one side of the stem, and each time you hit some leaves, it changes size. Chickweed is something you could just eat raw as part of a salad. If you wanted to use it medicinally, it would bring down a fever. You know, people say, oh, is this safe, to eat right from the sidewalk or right over here, it's so close to the road. But, a lot of these people have front yard gardens or just have backyard gardens even. That's not very far from the road either, and we're eating it. So it's pretty much the same kind of stuff. I mean, unfortunately, living in the city, it's not going to be as pure as living in the countryside, but it's still organic. Sure, but it's really nice. It's kind of succulent. It's got a lot of water in it, so pretty tasty, I think. Yeah. Okay. You'll see this all over. These two are plantains. Now, if you wanted to, you could eat it. And the first time I did my wild food week, I did, but it's just really unpleasant texture because it's so rough. But what's neat about it is, see these like really distinct veins going through it? You can see it on the back especially. And you see how it grows right from the center, like from the ground, basal it's called. It's not like growing up vertically from the stem. Those are some ways to identify it. And additionally, this isn't the season for it. We have to wait like another 2 months to see seeds, but it'll send up like a stalk. Like it would look like, oh, this is one. Here you go, exactly like this. So I think the best way to learn about plants is to just do it gradually in your own neighborhood. And also, if you were interested in using urban foraging as sort of survival preparation, say for when the zombies come or something and the grocery store shut down, it would be most advantageous to know what was closest to you. So certainly you could use plant books, but I think those are good as a supplement. Like the way I use them is I'll go for a walk with a friend who knows. She'll maybe explain to me some of these different plants, and then I'll go back and read up on them and like learn how can I identify this particular plant, what are its medicinal properties, what kind of nutrients does it have, and kind of go from there. And then once you start to know the plants really well, then it's really easy to go out. Oh, by the way, let me show you. So then you can go out and you'll recognize the same plants in a different environment. So I think it's really good to get to know them on your own turf for a long time, so you're really confident. Because really by sight, once you really do get to know a plant, you're not going to mistake something else for it. Oh, okay, here's a good one. This is dandelion. So this is very distinctive. Everyone knows what a dandelion is, especially when you see the bright yellow flowers. And you're going to start seeing these leaves all over. Now you've learned just a few different plants, you're just going to start seeing them like mad. And be like, I know what that is. Okay, so dandelion's leaves are all coming out from the ground, just like plantain. They're basal, kind of coming out in a spiral around the center. And these kind of serrated edges with funny looking leaves are really distinctive of them. And of course, you'll see in the grocery store that you could buy a cluster of this. I could just go like this, pluck this whole thing, put it in a bundle, and charge you like $3 for it in the grocery store and call it a delicacy. And that's the same stuff as what's right here. And this is technically organic. I haven't put any pesticides on it, right? So it's the same thing. Wild food is just free food. I look at these things as like little presents, that are just left here, like little vestiges of our past, that are kind of just like still around that people just walk over and don't know about. And you start to pay attention to it and you start to see the world really differently. I've gotten myself just much more respect for nature and more gratitude by noticing these things. So this is a rose bush right here. You can tell because there's thorns, and I just happen to know because I ate these right here. They're called rose hips. These are kind of rotten looking. I wouldn't eat them now. But you can make a tea from them. And actually for Thanksgiving, my friends and I took this and boiled them. And well, before we boiled them, actually, we took like the seed out, the core inside, and it made an amazing cranberry sauce replacement. It tasted better than cranberry sauce. It was like the only thing that everybody wanted to eat that totally got polished off. I hope that it grows of interest. I think its value is not so much in feeding people as educating people. I think it's most valuable as a hobby and as a way to experience nature and as a way to connect with who you are, to be wild, and to remember what it was like before capitalism, honestly. You know, I think nature provides us with food and medicine for free, and I think urban foraging is a great way to recognize that.